So can we wrap up by just talking about some of, maybe some best practices and maybe some first baby steps that people can take moving forward? And as you've already addressed some of these objections, people are going to say, well, you've already said that there's a lower barrier to entry. You don't have to buy a camera. You don't have to buy a mic, buy that sort of thing. I see that as one objection. I see another objection to people saying, well, I don't want to write a script. I don't like being on camera. Like, this feels really, really unnatural for me. How long do I have to, how long should this video be? Can you go over some first baby steps that people can take to just kind of dip their toe in the waters to realize it's not as scary as they think?
Sure. And so the people that are going to pick this up the fastest are the salespeople that are sick of having the more experienced people outshine them. Because if you can have a younger, hungrier person that goes, you know what, this is going to be the thing that I nail better than anybody else in my organization, that person's going to become a champion, not only like in the eyes of their management and leadership, because this person is now destroying it, but also for the other competitors in the company or their other peers that are like, what's that person doing? And why are they, all of a sudden their numbers are better and their closing rates are faster and they're having a lot more fun? It's usually because one person is just hungry enough to go after it. So the first thing for the salespeople that are watching this thing, be the first one. If nobody else in your company is doing this, if none of your competitors are doing this, be the first one. How much stronger are you going to be in 3 months if you started right now where none of your peers even know that this conversation is taking place? So the very, very first step is to take it, to decide I'm going to be the different person and I'm going to go after this 150% until I figure it out. So step one, you figuring it out. Step two is just downloading the free software. I don't care if it's Vidyard, I don't care if it's Soapbox, I don't care if it's Loom or any of the other free video downloading software pieces out there. Just grab one, download it, and just start playing with it to see how it works. Each of them have like different configurations. You can just do a video with just yourself. You can share your screen. You can share yourself and your screen. So really it comes down to figuring out what you're wanting to relay to your prospect and making the appropriate video. And so as far as time, never take more time than you need to teach what you need to teach. John, you and I talked about this first. Like we were kind of given a length of time, but the first thing you and I said is the conversation is going to be what the conversation is. If it stops when it needs to stop, we're not going to stretch it out for another 15 minutes because we're trying to hit a deadline. That's insane. Your customer's time is probably packed with all kinds of other stuff, and you're going to send them a prospecting email, which is probably not on their radar. Value their time by getting to the point very, very quickly and like sticking to one topic at a time. So decide to do it, download the tools and stick to one topic at a time and focus. Keep them, a couple of minutes is great. Anything over 3 to 5 minutes, you're going to lose your audience. You can Google attention spans and there's nothing that you're going to find that says make a video over 5 minutes on a regular basis. So that's the first starts. The other one is there's free courses that we have at Impact Plus specifically to get you started. There's assignment prospecting and assignment selling are the 2 free courses on Impact Plus that I would have you and anybody else on your team that's thinking about doing this to take first. Because everything else is just you downloading stuff, figuring it out. These 2 courses will really go deeper than we are right now on some techniques, some of the why, some of the how, so you have a better understanding of what this whole thing means and how people are using it effectively right now. And so far, nothing that I've said costs a dime. The next step is to practice. Start getting in front of your camera. Start thinking about the people in your pipeline right now. Who can you prospect? Who could you follow up with? Who should you break up with? Start thinking about specific people in your pipeline and practice making videos for them. What that's going to do is that's going to make you more competent in your use of the tool. You're going to get all those bugs worked out as you're like, oh, that sounded weird, or this light's not right. Let me readjust some stuff. So that's your in beta figuring it all out. And once you're done practicing, if you can tap somebody else in your team, a peer that you trust or a manager that you trust, to start doing some peer review. Have bonus points if they're working on these 2 and you're sending videos back and forth. But the more you can get feedback on the stuff that you're making and just make it an honest and open space. Hey, some of these are going to be terrible. Some of these are going to be really, really great. But the purpose is to figure out what we need to do or say differently to help better educate the people that we want to work with, or how can I better break up with them, or how can I do something to make them move a little bit forward. By having time to practice, to train, and to give each other feedback, everything that you make is going to be better.
Thanks to our audience for joining us. Again, I'm John Becker, editor here at Impact. Devin is a coach. You can reach us both through Impact's website with our email. Find us on Impact Plus, which, as Devin said, is our free learning platform. There are the courses that he mentioned, but then amazing amounts of courses and keynote recordings and message boards and groups. There's a ton on there. It's free to join. And thank you for joining us today.